Caller ID says emergency 911, and the voice on the other end of the line says there is a warrant for your arrest.
But tonight, 10 Investigates uncovers it's all a scam. Investigative reporter Paul Aker found this scam is happening throughout Ohio, including a case that really frightened a Zanesville woman.
When the Ohio State Highway Patrol comes looking for you,
I was here sitting on my steps.
troopers usually don't call you first, like this.
He was stating he was from the Ohio State Police Department and that there was an arrest warrant out for me.
That's what Katie Sims heard when she answered her cell phone Friday. She says it was a man with a thick accent who claimed to be an Ohio law enforcement officer, and the number that appeared on the caller ID read emergency 911. But the call was bogus, and it wasn't the first.
On July the 2nd, I received another call. It came up emergency 911. I answered it, and the guy stated that there was an arrest warrant under my name.
Friday was worse. Katie says this time the fake officer started talking about sex.
And it sounded like he said he wanted to talk to me, and the more he repeated it, the more I heard he wanted to me. I started to freak out.
Katie called her mom.
Yeah, she was totally paranoid when she called me Friday.
The women decided to alert Zanesville police, but officers chose not to investigate. A Zanesville sergeant declined to explain why.
But 10 Investigates went to work. We looked into whether this is an isolated incident. It didn't take long to figure out it's happening fairly frequently.
We found stories from around the country that show scammers spoofing 911 numbers. Spoofing, as this video shows,
and then you choose the caller ID number that you want to display,
is when people use phony apps to disguise their numbers on caller IDs. 10 Investigates found the 911 spoofers usually try to get victims to pay some kind of bail money to get out of a phony warrant. A search of state records shows people pretending to be state agents have pulled similar scams at least 20 other times this year. Attorney General Mike DeWine says, don't be fooled.
Prevention is the best thing, because once that money is transferred, it is so difficult to get it back.
Katie never paid any money, and she says she knows how to handle the next call.
I will not answer it. I will let it go to voicemail.
For 10 Investigates, I'm Paul Aker.
And we want you to know this story came to us from a viewer tip. Here's why. If you have a story about fraud, corruption, or wrongdoing, email Paul at 10 Investigates. You can find a link by visiting 10tv.com/10investigates.